Thank God we have alcohol, honestly. We need it. We need it. Clap it up if you're drinking tonight. Clap it up if you're having some drinks. I love that. I love that. You got to do it sometimes. We love drinking. We love it. We love drinking so much, we don't even think you can cheers somebody if they're not also drinking alcohol. You're like, what is that, water? I'm not clicking that fucking glass.
Ben Gleib is on the Adam Carolla Show.
Are you with me on the contact with the cheer, that the glasses have to make contact? I don't know when that started. I'm fine with the, like, hey, here we go. Thank you. God bless. Happy anniversary. Now everyone's leaning across the table and like, hey, oh, You missed me, bro. You missed me. And then also a martini is $28 and you will spill half that fucking martini
you gotta be
out there.
careful with the martini. I'm in between on this. I think that it needs to click people that are within easy reach, close to you. But the people that started, you're right, in the last couple of years, like getting up and leaning across the whole table and like, you missed, it's a step too far.
What about a symbolic empty glass for the clank, like people have costume jewelry, but they actually have the real jewelry as well, but that's in a safe at home. You know, I got a martini. I don't want to fucking spill half of it reaching around, whatever. I don't want to take a slug of it before the thing because that seems like it's in poor taste. What if I bring a secondary glass?
Yeah, double fist and
like an Elijah
jab
cup.
out there?
Like
yeah,
an Elijah cup.
like a chair for Elijah,
Sure.
A martini glass for Elijah. So I'm going to bring... When I go out to a party to steakhouse, I'm going to bring
mustard.
No, that's that's a crypto.
Extra glass. No, but have your whole set ready for whatever comes
have
up.
it in my trunk of my car.
Adam
Extra
Carolla,
bun.
emergency condiment and supply set.
I
You
brought
should
the
sell
wrong
this.
belt.
Yeah, I want all
condiment
of
belt.
it. Yeah,
Jumper
Extra
cables
buns,
just in case.
Extra buns, jumper cables,
Chopped
glass,
up onion, empty glass. For
make your own
clanking.
martini glass, clank.
Uh-huh.
I think you got a lot of, and then you know what? Just to screw with people's minds, throw some pepperoni in there.
And a batarang.
Batarang. The Batman. All right.
The latest in the news. Elon Musk is joking about buying MSNBC with a risque meme, temptation. He used this same meme a long time ago when he was going to buy Twitter. So this is a harbinger of things to come. And he did the same meme with different text to poke fun at President-elect Donald Trump's temptation to return to Twitter, which has been rebranded X. Yeah, he started a whole kerfuffle here. Joe Rogan said that he would gladly join MSNBC, and if you, quote, if you buy MSNBC, I would like Rachel Maddow's job. I would wear the same outfit and glasses and tell the same lies.
That was Joe's statement.
That was Joe's statement, and Musk replied, deal.
I like this, and maybe
too.
it's going to
Me
happen.
too.
And he could walk in holding a sink, saying, let this sink in, and then he could find Joy Reid and go, let that bitch out, would be the second part.
It would be
of the
classic
story.
trolling. Oh, there's the whole image. Now I see.
Yes. Yeah.
Why it's so tempting. Now
It
I
would
get
be.
it.
What do you think it would cost is the question. And then what are the estimates? And it's got to be, I don't know anything about high finance, but it has to be quite a bit less than Twitter.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh,
I'm thinking so, yeah.
The
What do you
street
pay, like
value.
$47 billion for Twitter? Probably you get
44.
MSNBC, I think, for like $30,000.
30K?
I think so.
Like what's in a Tesla ashtray of his truck right now?
Right in the frunk, in the
front. What's up in the front? Yeah. The two terms that didn't exist when I was a kid was frunk and gunt.
I don't even know what gunt is.
It's like a fupa.
It's like a fupa.
It's like a fupa.
You know what a fupa
Sure,
is?
of course I do.
Yeah, I really think we owe Mike Tyson credit for gunt.
Really?
I do.
Why? Because he gave a chick an upper gunt?
He
my
said
gosh.
it. He said it. Somewhere. MSNBC's parent company, Comcast, is looking to spin the network off into a new entity.
Yeah, that's how this all started.
That would house MSNBC, USA Network, Oxygen, E, Sci-Fi, and the Golf Channel. Well, Trump, he'd love to have himself a show on the Golf Channel. Yeah, that would be funny if he did that.
It would be amazing if he did it. I also think Elon Musk buying MSNBC would be finally we'd be able to get a neutral thing where it's just only pro-Trump stuff. I love that.
All
like
pro.
when he bought Twitter, he's like, we're gonna have to equally offend both sides. We're gonna be just down the middle free speech. And then it was just like Trump. We're making sure Trump wins this shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't experienced a lot of the hatred that a lot of people say they experience
On Twitter now.
I'm not. I've somehow steered clear of it, even though I haven't done any steering.
I've gotten some of it.
You gotten some
But
of
I'm
it?
also not using it that much anymore, but I've gotten some when I go on there. It's not pleasant when I go on there.
About
Really?
what?
Well, mostly about Israel Gaza. I'm getting a lot
really?
a lot of shit on that.
I never get why people are so divided on that.
Me either.
I never hear a good argument for the Gaza side of the argument.
I know. They have great arguments if you skip over the constant promise and threat of annihilation of the Jewish people in
Yes.
Israel. If you
Yes,
skip
they do.
over that promise,
Yes.
then it's a terrible war. Of course, we all want to end. But how about just stop promising to kill us? Then we're good.
Well, I mean, I think the argument is they're bombing a bunch of civilians.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which
Like,
which you blame
that
Hamas
sucks.
for because they're promising still to kill Israel, even in the face of this overwhelming military.
Well, if you're going to
Moment.
put the civilians in the hospital above the Hamas headquarters,
Right.
then you're going to get bombed.
Right.
If you're going to use them like human shields, then you're going to get bombed.
That's how war goes.
Which is
Sadly.
how it goes. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's philosophical to me, which is Israel is essential. Look, I don't. People talk about territory and they talk about religion, they talk about stuff, but there's a bottom line, which is we all know guys who want to fight and guys who don't want to fight, and the guys who don't want to fight just don't fight. They rarely fight. They almost never fight. Most of the sane nations really don't want to fight. They just don't. Israel doesn't want to fight.
Right.
And then there's everyone else in the Middle East who wants to fucking fight all day about everything all the time, and they'll fight each other.
Yep.
So Israel, if they had a magic wand, they'd go, let's just all fucking live in peace and raise our kids. Let's just
Which
do that.
evidenced by them making peace agreements with every other neighbor that's at all willing.
Right, but their neighbors are all homicidal fucking maniacs who have a crazy religion who want to fucking fight.
Crazy version of their religion, at least. Interpretation
well,
that is just bonkers.
But I look at it like this: if Gavin Newsom says I hate Trump and he starts like throwing bombs at Trump or whatever, starts shooting rockets at him, and then Trump comes in here and levels fucking Glendale, and we're all sitting here like, oh, what the fuck? Bombs, like we ain't had shit to do with that. Goddamn, like Gavin Newsom doesn't speak for me. Like that's
I mean, it
how
was
I
a very
look at
strange
it.
analogy, but yes, it
Right?
does apply.
Yeah, it's got some,
Yep.
Right?
yeah, except for they went in and slaughtered people at a festival. They fire fucking rockets.
Yeah,
They
of
hate
course.
their own people. They use their own people as human shields. They get money, and all the money goes into building tunnels, not
Yeah.
into infrastructure and schools.
But
or
now
whatever.
they just wiped out the whole area, though. Like I know they got some of them Hamas guys, but damn,
for
they got
sure.
a
And they're
boatload of
counted
kids.
in the death total that's never mentioned in the news. But every single term is just completely mind flipped on this. It's the weirdest,
Yes.
very basic bitch interpretation of oppressor oppressed. They think because they currently don't have a state, it's because they never have had one, and they keep promising to kill people. Every term they say that Israel is white colonialists that are colonizing the area, except more than half the country is not white, and they're literally just the one little country that doesn't want more land, and they're surrounded by 22 Arab nations that are literally been colonizing the area to this little tiny strip of one Jewish land that's still allowed to exist barely. The Arab conquest literally closing in at all times, but that's not colonialism or an issue for anybody. That's not a problem. That's an ethno-state. No problem.
I'm sure we
The
can figure
one-
it out on this podcast.
I think we should.
Yeah.
Well, let's put it to you this way. If Palestine was Sweden, do you think we could work this out?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. So
I
there
do.
you go. All right, we solved our answer.
We saw that. Let's just make that happen now.
Right. And if Israel was Sweden, it wouldn't be worked out.
I don't even follow that part
Yeah,
of it.
I
but
don't
yes.
understand what
If
any of that
Israel
is.
was Sweden.
They wouldn't just live Palestine wouldn't let them live in harmony next to them.
Oh, right.
And they wouldn't let it do it. It's Palestine.
Yeah.
They're the problem. They hate Jews.
They want the West gone in every way.
They want the Jews dead, and they don't like the West.
And,
but other than that, they're delights.
And exactly. And the Jews are fighting. Israel's fighting this fight for the West. I mean, they literally don't just chant death to Israel. It's death to Israel and death to America.
Death to America!
Oh, they're just in Canada doing death.
Yeah.
And by the way, why do we get tacked on to all the deaths too? You know what I mean? They're just chanting death to Canada, and they're like, oh, and America. It's like, whoa, just fucking deal with Canada.
We've got nothing to do with Canada. We barely have relations with Canada.
I don't like Trudeau. No. I don't like putting fucking mayonnaise on my French fries.
No, gravy's okay on it though. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Poutine's pretty good.
Poutine.
Poutine's not bad.
All right, what else?
All right, latest in crow news.
Crows.
I think we all know this here, but crows hold grudges against individual humans, often attacking for up to 17 years.
Yeah. We have a lot of
grudge.
crows in my neighborhood. And my dog, all of a sudden, I let my dog off his leash now to go play. I play fetch with him across to my neighbor's lawn every day. And so he gets some running in. And just one time I was on my phone not looking, and all of a sudden I hear a noise, and I go around the bush, and he's fighting a crow.
Bro, I have the same thing.
Straight
Be
up
careful,
crow
bro.
fight.
They will hate you forever.
I know. So
they fight
thank
him.
God I instinctively like yelled at my dog and got him to stop attacking the crow. He damaged his wing. He had to go hide. And for weeks, crows were like kind of terrorizing my property, but I realized they weren't. I think they appreciated that I saved the crow, and they've kind of left me alone now.
Bro,
I think I might have escaped crow.
I had to
vengeance.
leave my house. I had
Permanently?
to leave town. They were attacking. Yes, my wiener dog bit the crow. I never told you the whole story. The crow came back later. The injured crow. I told you I saved him. And all the crows were around me.
Yeah, they're like
squawking and yes,
circling,
circling
sweeping
me,
down,
swooping at me, all that. I let him go and got out. He flew off with the busted wing and later came back. And I never told you this. Died in my pool.
Whoa!
Really?
Died. I don't know if he went back and drowned himself because he couldn't fly anymore.
Jimmy's dog Fluffy drowned in his pool.
Maybe. Oh,
damn.
Yeah. I taught the hot dog how to escape the pool, so that never was a thing. But the crow died in the pool, and after that, I could not walk to Starbucks without getting dive bombed or at least menaced.
I think that's when Jimmy realized something was wrong with me, because I remember he was telling me he had his dog and his name Fluffy, and he was missing one eye, and he was real old, and he fell into the pool and he drowned, and I started laughing real hard. And then he got really serious.
Immediately you started fantasizing about eating a dog at SoFi Stadium.
Yeah, I was like, let me get my condiment belt out. So, all right. So the reason we bring up all these stories is my attack crows, which I've been pitching for 25 plus years on the radio, of training crows to attack.
Interesting.
And using them like a police dog.
Sure.
They can recognize people. They can be trained. They're smart. They're super fucking angry. Going back to the horrible attack at the music festival, paragliders.
Right.
You don't think crows would have fucked them up? If you see these guys in Hamas coming over the top and you're going at their head, there's whole murders of crows flying hard at those guys. You have to turn back. At that point, you're fucked up. And once you land, you're running through the streets trying to shoot people, and those fucking crows are going at your head. You got to retreat.
Interesting, kind of a Hitchcock approach. I like this a little bit.
Yeah,
they could easily be trained to do any of this stuff. They're smart as shit. They're angry as shit. They got a great memory. They'll take on a fucking water buffalo in terms of they don't care the size differential. They'll go at anybody or anything. And when they go at your head, all you can do is try to get them to stop. There's no you can't continue on with whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
So we can
Hamas is going to look finally maybe silly in the face of the world when they're now having to always chant "Death to Israel, death to America, death to crows,
death to crows and ravens silly. And maybe magpies.
Magpies
I don't know.
are a real issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe finally people be like, I feel like they really just get angry at groups very easily.
The Israeli army should have battalions of attack crows.
Interesting.
And they should be sitting up on the wall, anywhere there's a wall, U.S. border. Once we get the wall built, once Trump builds a wall, put the fucking crows, put the attack crows on there. See somebody puts a ladder up against it and starts trying to get pow in the head, go home. Somebody starts trying to squeeze through it. Pow, with the crows. Start seeing Hamas come. Anyone, by the way, here's the wall. Anyone coming the other direction, I don't care if it's from Mexico or Palestine, you're getting it. We're going at you.
You get a crow right at you.
You get a crow.
Well, I'm going to warn you against that a little bit, just because the cultural transmission, crows actually have the ability to teach one another. So what you're saying right now, you might teach a crow to be racist. And forever thereafter, crows will constantly hate the Palestinian people.
And so then we now have an existential threat from both AI and crows.
Exactly
at the
right.
same time.
Exactly
And
right.
Taking over humanity.
Certain members of the black community out here, I would imagine, carjackings and things like that, limits itself to certain groups,
Yeah, I mean, a crow would really help stop a carjacking. Easy.
Crow would stop everything.
Yeah, it would stop a lot of
It
stuff.
would stop school shootings.
Oh my God.
That's an interesting point.
It would stop mass shootings.
Yeah.
If you went inside a big shooting in a Costco or something, the crow would just be up on the rafters. See someone
as
come
soon
to
as
pull a gun?
Yeah, if you see a gun at a school, a crow comes in.
It just
On the
flies
hat.
down. Nevermore.
Yep. You can't shoot up.
Talks like a parrot, but it says Edgar Allan Poe quote. Nevermore. I like that.
There's cage fighters and their literary references. It never
Amazing.
ends.
It's really incredible.
So, yeah, school, you can't carry on with a school shooting if
Yeah.
a crows are hitting you in the head.
Yeah.
You have to run. All you can do is run. Being hit by a crow is like being set on fire. You just run.
I mean, it's not quite as bad, but it's a close second.
Your body reacts the same way. You don't have composure when you're being attacked by a crow.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Like,
Yeah.
let's just say you were masturbating and a crow attacked you.
Okay.
Even if you're really close to finishing,
Yeah.
you would probably stop.
I mean, I'm the wrong person to ask. That's the kind of porn I look at.
Yeah,
Oh, you look
I'm
at
gonna-
crow
attack.
crows?
Yeah, and I'll stop you right there.
You're right.
This actually happened to me. I had no trouble
This happened?
whatsoever.
Oh,
not
it
at all.
Wow, I
enhanced the
picked the wrong
pleasure.
two
In fact,
guys.
The aim is to come in the crow's mouth.
Oh,
right
wow.
when he goes, "Ah!" That's
Yeah.
your quick window.
Quick window.
You have a quick window to get it in there.
Yeah. All right. I may have been talking to
Talking
the
the wrong guy.
gentleman.
That's-
Yeah.
that's right. Thank you
Well,
for using
normally
gentleman
when
as
I
well.
bring this up, the guys go, "Yeah, I'd have to stop and deal with the
but that's
crow."
my fetish.
No, Mayhem and I really don't relate to you on this at all.
We were watching crow porn in the green room right
That's
now.
I
exactly
didn't know
right.
that.
Yeah, it's referred to as crony porn. Crony porn. It's
All
a
right,
series of
perhaps,
gentlemen.
all right, you know what? Let me shift my examples. Let's say you're making an omelet.
Great.
And you're almost done, and a crow attacked your
I'm
head.
almost done coming while making the
Oh,
omelet.
no, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
That was on me. You're now making just an omelet.
Oh, it's a fully different scenario.
It's not a semen omelet. It's a
Got it.
Denver omelet.
Oh, I've
you
spent
really
some
like
great time
those?
in Denver.
Oh,
I've had great
okay.
times in Denver.
I'm trying to find a metaphor here.
Maybe just
Let's say you were changing your car tire
got it.
and you were attacked by a crow.
Yes, okay, got it.
You would have to stop, is
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I
pull
see.
my pants up
Yep.
and then
No,
dip the jacket.
not masturbating.
Oh, sorry.
How else are you going to screw in the bolts?
Oh, man.
I don't
This is
understand how else.
this is a difficult time for me. But I'm saying you will be distracted to the point where whatever it is you're doing, you will stop.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And that's
so
why-
it's saying like a non-sexual environment, and then a crow comes down.
That's right.
Okay.
The hang glider, Hamas guys going into Israel, it would have fucked them up if,
I agree
if a
with
bunch
that.
of crows went out.
I agree with that.
Yes. And the ones that made it on the ground and were going house to house, it would have fucked them up.
And you're
too.
saying mostly because of the repressive sexual nature of their teachings, and then all of a sudden they see these hot crows.
Yeah.
Oh,
and they get distracted.
no. This is about national security. It's really, I think you guys maybe got caught up in the sexual
Yeah.
reference.
I mean,
that
I can't get out of it right now.
I cannot.
These crows got
Yep.
me all hot under the collar.
Correct.
Yeah, and I don't even know what the difference between a crow and a raven are, though the raven is bigger than
Bigger,
the
yeah.
crow, I think. And we could do attack ravens. And also, they're just black and they're loud and they scare people. Like, there's an element that just scares people. Like, I don't know
They are scary looking.
if a spider is more dangerous than a ladybug, but they scare people more.
Yeah.
You know? And crows scare people. They're fucking loud. They come at your head.
Well,
and there's nothing
spiders
you
are
can do.
more dangerous than
Yeah, yeah.
ladybugs.
They
There's like millions
definitely
of
are.
poisonous spiders.
Unless you're an aphid.
There are, but ladybugs do more damage, I think, to like the garden and stuff.
didn't even know that. Is that true?
Actually, no. Ladybugs.
They eat
protect
aphids?
They eat aphids. You release a bag of them in. I'm quite a.
Oh
avid
no,
gardener
you're right. They would sell ladybugs
To eat because the aphids eat
they
your
eat
crops.
aphids, but there are bugs. All right, there are bugs that like silverfish have never done anything to anybody, but we don't like them. They're just weird and ugly,
vicious,
and we don't want them. And I'm saying the same with cockroaches. We just don't want them.
No.
We don't want them. And crows are that way. They're scary.
Yeah, I was walking my dog the other day, and like a block over from my house, there was this woman's lawn with like 25 crows on it, in the trees, on the lawn. I don't know what she did to those crows, because I almost murdered a crow in my house, and they've left me mostly alone.
Yeah, but
So
if they
what
all
did she
turned
do?
on you, you'd have to run.
That's a big problem.
You'd have to masturbate and then run.
Yeah, it's like having a family of raccoons. I came home one day and they're trying to get into my own house, and they were on the roof and then the sides. and they
Really?
were hissing at me, and it's hard to get into your own house sometimes.
Yeah,
I would like to go crows versus raccoon. I think would be a fair fight.
I think so.
That'd be a pretty
It'd
good
be
fight.
good on the ground.
On the ground, yeah.
You know, as Mayhem knows, but the crows can go airborne,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
just gives you a huge
Classic
advantage.
striker versus grappler matchup.
That's right.
It's a strong point. But also they can't lift a raccoon into the air, so the air is limited. You could dive bomb a little bit, but then they got they just have to, the raccoons just sharp claw at them.
What if we enhance the crow's lifting ability with drones?
Okay.
I bet, and also when the enemy starts flying the surveillance drones over or the rocket drones, crows could go fuck that up too.
Okay. And in this scenario, what are the crows wearing? A little skirt situation, like heels?
I'm thinking like C4 vest, sort of like
Explosive
suicide,
vest,
suicide crow.
comma crows,
Okay, less hot than I was hoping for, but that would be
kamikaze
effective for
crows.
battle.
Yeah,
I like that. Interesting.
flying it right into the window of the Hamas headquarters. And
That
boom.
works. That works.
Yep.
It's more targeted.
That's right.
It would solve a lot of problems.
All right, what else we got, man?
Oh, you had mentioned AI. The tech pioneer Joshua Bengio warns of artificial intelligence risks. AI systems could turn against humans.
They always talk about that.
Yeah, I'm thinking Y2K. I'm thinking it's not. I think by the time they figure this out enough, where artificial general intelligence, which is the way that they think that it will be dangerous, I think it will be contained. I don't know. This is just my opinion. I think it will be contained enough, and scientists will chip away at it and figure out how to make it safe for all society.
Nope.
No, you're
No, we're in big
against it?
trouble. We're in big trouble. I've been listening a lot about this. Eric Schmidt was just talking about it on the Prof G podcast. Basically, even though he is heavily investing in AI, and everybody who says it's an existential threat, even Elon Musk signed the things like 2 years ago saying it's an existential risk to humanity, but we're still going to be developing
Yeah,
it
that's what I mean,
aggressively.
yeah.
Apparently, one of the big risks is that it's going to develop the ability to create biological pathogens and then just like put basically.
Well, I don't
poison
see
and
what
kill
benefit
everybody.
that would do in AI. Like I know that's the common science fiction. Oh my God, the AI is going to kill us all. But I don't think it would. By the time they have it all figured out, like
But I don't think
that
the risk-
they won't unleash it onto the internet until they figured out how to.
Because I don't think the risk is that the computers itself want to kill everybody. It's that just bad actors, small rogue terrorist groups get access to the AI. Like
Okay,
in
that's
China,
different.
they're creating these open source, huge AI, like large language models and other models, and they've made them open source. So literally anybody can just take it, and if a terrorist group gets a hold of it, they just use that to deploy like bad shit.
Yeah, but getting back to Israel and Hamas, is it going to be
Oh,
worse
great.
than people are to people? Because
mean-
all we're doing is trying to kill each other 24/7
This
anyway.
is true, but they could do it just on such a larger scale, mass scale. Like it takes a long time to create horrible damage, and it could be mass scale. And then the big risk is even in war is that they're gonna, even if like we in certain developed nations have a person between the AI's ability to launch missiles, launch weapons, that rogue nations or rogue groups are just not going to put that person in between. Then it'll just, the AI will have the authority to just on its own whim launch missiles, and it's going to want to then as efficiently as possible kill the enemy.
But I also have like an optimistic view. Like it's possible that there's some way that it can just make this whole place a utopia for us humans as a thank you for creating it. And then like make, maybe there will be war or some type of terrible thing that happens with the AI. But I also think that it could be that it figures out how to make us all just exist and be happy.
Well, how about...
That's cute. That's
yeah,
so
that's
cute.
never going to happen. Well, where do you guys come down on this? how much of this stuff is a sort of narcissistic endeavor in that since the beginning of humanity, people have thought this is all going to end on my watch, like the rapture. The rapture is going to happen while I'm here. And historically, religious groups have figured out a way to time it somehow, and they go up to the mountain with their folding chairs, and they go,
Jonestown, baby, let's drink the Kool-Aid.
yeah, it's this Sunday at noon, so go ahead and quit your job and let's go up to the mountain. And they always have to slink back to work on Monday and beg for their job back, right? But there's a narcissistic endeavor. It's maybe the ultimate sort of built-in narcissism where you go, is this all going to end on my watch? Like, we've had lots of society and lots of generations, and a lot of them made the proclamation, this is it. Now, while I'm here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it go down. But that's a built-in
That's a sales technique for every type of thing. Oh, it's going to end, so you got to come with me.
But stuff doesn't sell unless it... COVID wouldn't have sold if we weren't all fucking narcissistic assholes. It wouldn't sell. Stuff that doesn't work on people. You know, you have to, it has to, the reason there are soothsayers and psychics is because every chick goes, I know it. It's like it's built in. It's built in to them. So it has to be something that touches something that's built in. You know, the Reese's peanut butter cup works because the only thing we love more than chocolate is peanut butter. If there's someone made one out of chicken liver and Vegemite, it'd be like, it's not going to work because nobody likes either one of those two things. It has to touch something. We're all narcissists, and we all have this little, is this going to happen on my watch?
Yeah.
Like, am I going to be the last person, the last generation? Whatever. We all toy around with that idea. But once religion is gone and on the wane and going away, not so many of us are thinking rapture. There used to be rapture, but this is a tech rapture. This is like a AI is going to start a war with everything.
Yeah, see, I don't
and
think
we're
that.
going to be gone. No, you don't. But it does appeal to this narcissistic end of days kind of thing that people have. People think narcissism is about you standing in front of the mirror and thinking how good you look. There's another form of narcissism, which is everyone's out to get me. Everyone's talking about me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be, it's an ultimate narcissism. This sort of doom and gloom is a bigger narcissistic thought than, I bet that chick thinks I'm hot. You know, that's that. Or look at these new shoes. Look how good I look. You know, that's sort
It's
of
like Larry David's more narcissistic than like Chris Hemsworth, really.
I'll bet he's 1,000 times more narcissistic than, yes, because him thanking the person behind the counter at the Starbucks
Is out
hates
to get him.
because he's bald or Jew or something is a form of narcissism that transcends, look how good I look wakeboarding.
It's true. It's a good point. Listen, you make a good point, and we have always thought that society is going to end on our watch, but, and I'm sure everybody has said this, but AI does seem like the exponential, could get out of control risk one that just, we don't know. I don't know if it's narcissistic to just be like, this is a computer that can just solve things infinitely faster than us, and if it gets any bit of sentience, we
But
are
I'm like
immediately
pretty mellow
fucked.
with the robo-apocalypse. You know what I mean? You just like go around to Ralph's and get canned corn, and you know what I mean? Just gonna have
Elote.
to. I have all the skills. I have all the skills
We
for
call
this
it
kind
maize.
We
of.
call it maize or elote.
I'm going to double load my condiment belt with corn. I'm going to have a separate condiment belt on the back that I can swing around.
Yeah.
You know, I can just pivot 180 my belt. That'll be corn. That'll be diced up. I think I'll do a pimento type olive in there.
That's nice.
Very flavorful.
now you're
and I'll
talking.
do an onion, but maybe a purple, maybe a red onion.
I think you need a hot sauce on there too.
Yeah.
Just to get people in the eye. You
Yeah.
have to get the crow to fight down the crows. I think if this does happen and the AI takeover does happen and they infuse themselves into robots and they're coming at us, there's a chance they come to your house and they see you and they're like, We will let funny condiment belt guy live.
Yeah.
What an oddball.
Oh, bro.
He's got mayonnaise on disposal.
Wait,
Bye.
Are you,
You
talking
might be
about
lucky.
No,
nanobots and the robot crows?
I will
Is that what
suck
you're
up
saying?
to those guys. Like, I'll go, hey, Overlord, do you strike me as a chimichurri kind of fella? Am I right? I love chimichurri. Whip the bells around.
Carolla, say you love pepperoni. Admit it now.
I love pepperoni. I adore pepperoni.
Shower him with pepperoni. Open your mouth.
Oh.
Open your mouth.
Hey, Overlord, perhaps a little Dijonnaise with that space stick.
We can't trust you with mustard. There's no chance.
What?
It gets everywhere.
How about that? That's true. You're right.
You know that in your
Overlord.
heart of hearts.
You're right.
You
More
know it.
mayonnaise, ketchup, and
That's
pepperoni. Yeah.
We only trust the Germans with that very efficient people. Half
very
robot,
efficient.
half man.
No, the Autobahn was not invented by fucking mayonnaise lovers.
Nope.
I'll tell you that right
Really
now.
slicks up that track, you know.
Oh,
No, the very first jet engine was not created by guys who like ketchup and fucking mayonnaise on
That's
their
correct.
on their Schnitzelgruben.
That's correct.
Wiener
Their
Schnitzel.
Wiener
You will
Schnitzel.
never have a good dog again.
All right, hey, I can change gears for you guys right now. Cher.
Never. Okay, fine.
Cher is fully aware that men expect fabulous sex from her, and she explains why on the Howard Stern show. She,
She's 85, right?
she is getting up there. Yeah.
She likes.
Guys expect fabulous sex and fabulous like because you're
Yes.
Cher and you're
Yes.
like
And they get it.
they do. That's fantastic. How do you know that they get it? I mean, how do you know?
Because you can tell by the reaction.
It's a great reaction. Who would
Yeah.
ever leave you? Men are
Few
fools.
men. Like
You
a
have to kick
couple,
them out.
A couple. Look, I was madly in love with Val Kilmer, and he left.
Why would he leave? He's having fabulous sex with one of the most beautiful women in the world. What the fuck's the problem with
Because
this guy?
you don't. Sometimes you sometimes you're only meant to stay with someone so long.
Right.
And Val was like, he was really young.
Yeah. She's 88.
She looks great for
Is she
88.
Oh, no, 78.
I was going to
78.
say,
She looks
sorry,
great
78.
for 78.
Yeah, 78.
Yeah, when I want to, for me, the metaphor, like when I break up with a lady, I go, the condiment belt is empty, Ben. So this is about it.
I'm shooting no sauce.
Shooting no sauce, and she's like, we can refill it. I'm like, I wish we could.
It's too late for us.
We can go into condiment therapy. Yeah, it never works.
This conversation's over. Release the crows.
Good luck running serpentine to your car, baby, with the crows chasing you.
Grab an umbrella on the way out. It's your only
Oh,
hope.
it's gonna rain talons.